Welcome back, everybody. This is Robbie from Miscellaneous Candor. Frank, honest, and otherwise outspoken. So normally we would have had an intro this week, but we are doing a little bit of a different taping, I should say, in terms of time. So there will be no intro, and we're just going to launch into discussion. Hope you had a good week last week. Remember, like, subscribe, follow, and listen to us. All right. We're about to get started. Stephen, are you there?
Hello, my friends. It is I, Stephen Kennedy, board certified atheist, at your service. Robbie, anytime you want to talk
We're
about
talking now,
atheism.
Stephen.
Right.
Well, okay, there you go. Okay, so I need to, you know what? I think 1 week you do that, I'm not gonna laugh. Like, I'm gonna force myself not to make a joke.
You know what I appreciate about you, Robbie?
What?
It's
What?
your sass, and your
My sass,
your
huh?
sass and your ability to look down on people that aren't as good as you,
Oh
quote
my
unquote.
goodness. I do not look down on people. Sass, that sounds a little stereotypical, but I'll go with that.
Stereotypical of what? Let's talk about this. What do you think?
No,
Sass?
we're not.
Am I talking about black women? Is that what you're saying?
We're not talking about that. That's not our
Oh,
conversation this week.
then what were you saying stereotypical of?
Well, I mean, you clearly answered your own question, so I don't think there is a
Oh, so we
conversation.
are talking about stereotyping against black women. Is that what I was doing? Is that how you feel?
I didn't
Hello?
say anything. I didn't say anything. I'm just listening to what you're saying. You are
I,
saying all of the words out
I,
into the sphere. But let's
yes.
talk
Is that
about
how you feel?
podcasts because that's
Okay.
really what I want to talk
Can
about.
we talk about this during our human interest bit?
No, because we have other things to talk about. We can talk
Okay,
about this on
fine.
another
Well,
episode if you
let's
want.
see if we kind of creep up on the topic again.
Okay, we'll see. I have to keep my energy up, people, so you might hear me moving around a lot. This will be an interesting podcast. Okay, so you said you didn't listen to any podcasts on our briefing. Is that true?
I am ashamed, and I apologize. But yes, I have failed you this week.
Okay, so I listened to a few different new podcasts. First of all, can I just tell you that Amy Schumer is ridiculous and I love her? Do you like Amy Schumer?
I do. I don't know why, but I like her.
I
I mean,
love Amy Schumer.
I just feel
So,
I just want to slap her, but at the same time, I like her. I can't figure it out.
are you going to slap her? I want to like hang out with her
I
and
do too.
like
I do too. I want to hang
I
out with her
feel like
and slap
she's
her at the same time.
so
I want to
fun.
be hanging out with her and just smack her randomly, just because she's so. I don't know. But go ahead. I apologize. Go ahead.
I don't know. I feel like that's very violent. I have no inclination to want to slap
Oh
her.
boy. Oh my God.
Um, I'm just saying, you just want to haul out and slap her.
Don't
That's not just something
don't
you just say
don't
to
you have
people.
friends that you want to slap sometimes? I mean, I know you want to slap me once in a while. Come on, admit it.
Um,
Admit it. Yes. Yes.
yeah, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
like
That's
say
what I
it
thought.
that way. I don't think I've ever said that, even though those are feelings that have come up.
Oh, I've seen it on your face. You don't have to say it.
Well, that's an assumption, but I have not saying the words out loud.
I have seen you raise your hand like you're about to hit me.
That is not true. You're just trying to push the envelope because you wanted to go there and you knew that I got you and you're like, I just want to slap her.
Okay.
Okay, anyway,
Sorry.
I love
I
Amy
apologize for
Schumer.
interrupting. Tell
She
me
was
why.
on the Call Your Daddy podcast. So I listened to that episode and
Oh,
I was cracking up. She is so fun. She was talking about this one thing. She was talking about this one thing about the group chat and how, like, when you have kids and then you go to a class and then you have this group chat and it's like it's a parents group chat, but it's not the parents group chat. It's she's like, it's the only thing. It's not PC. It's called the moms group chat because the moms are
mhm.
in there and the moms are doing it and the moms are getting shit done, GSD, and the moms are just going back and forth. And then she's like, and all of a sudden a random dad it will pop up in there and be like, everybody's like, Ryan, are you lost? Like, what's going on? And then she's like, and imagine she says to the call your daddy lady, she goes, imagine if, like, can you imagine if your father tried to plan your birthday party? And she's like, "Oh, I never would have had a birthday party." She's like, "Exactly." So, can you imagine like all the dads trying to do things? And when I think about the world and like how men are the ones that are just running everything, but you have the moms chat, and the moms are the ones that are getting everything done. But men are the ones that are running the world, and maybe like stuff just goes sideways because they were trying to plan a birthday party. Oh, I just thought that was so funny. Anyway, oops. See, I even lost my mic because, hold on, people,
Huh.
I'm coming back. I even lost my mic because I was laughing so hard. That was just so funny to me. It takes a minute to get the joke.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out
I
right
know.
now.
I know. It takes a minute to get the joke. Anyway, I freaking love Amy Schumer. She is hilarious.
Yeah, I was actually pleasantly surprised when I saw her. There was some movie I saw recently with Amy Schumer, and I was pleasantly surprised when she dropped her top. It was impressive, actually.
Oh my god, I know. She does stuff like that. She was talking about that stuff too.
Yeah,
Anyway, so
it's nice
I listen
proportions.
to I listen to I listen to
I feel like you're ignoring me, Robbie. Are you ignoring me?
what do you want me to say? I mean, you said what you felt
I
about.
want you to contribute. What do you think?
I don't have anything to say about that.
You don't have nothing to say about her breasts?
No.
Okay, fine.
I really don't. Like, she's done that in movies, okay?
Yeah.
Like,
Do you what do you think about women burying their breasts in films? Do you think it's appropriate? Do you think there's a if it fits the scene and then the script, do you think it's okay? Do you think it's inappropriate? Do you think it's unneeded at any time?
well, yeah, like I always look at it from an artistic perspective in terms of the movie and what the movie's trying to portray and what the storyline is. So I do look at it in those terms, in terms of seeing that, but I'm not going to do it because I'm not in the movies. I'm not. That's not my thing. But
Mhm.
I can put it in scope of where it's supposed to be. So I don't know what you're trying to get me to say. I know you're always trying to get me to do something or say something. It's kind of like
Not at
make the
all.
podcast go, yeah, but there's really nothing in this
That's not.
in this conversation.
Why I feel attacked constantly, Robbie. I just don't
I feel
know
like that's a
why.
personal problem.
It hurts my feelings. Can't.
It's so funny. You always talk about how it hurts your feelings, but then in another word, you're talking about you have no feelings.
I, I feel like you're going deep in the paint right now.
Actually, I'm going hard in the paint. But
I,
outside of that, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, I'm messing with you. Okay, so I listened to Call Your Daddy. And then I also too listened to this podcast. Oh, Amy, another blonde comedian woman from Saturday Night Live, Amy Schuler or Amy whatever her name is, I forgot. She has a podcast. I tried to listen to it, but I couldn't get
she's
the
a
whole thing.
comedian.
Yeah, like Amy Schuler or something. I can't.
Amy Poehler.
Amy Poehler. Yes, she has a
Oh,
good
she's
hang. Good hang is what it's called, and she
oh,
it's like in the top 10 now. It debuted top 10.
interesting.
And then what else did I listen to? So that was new. That's top 10.
I
And
used to
then
work with a woman that looked a lot like Amy Poehler, and I used to tell her all the time, like, "You look exactly like Amy Poehler." Needless to say, she was not happy, and
why? Amy
she did
Poehler's
not like
cute.
me.
She's such a
Yeah,
nice
but
looking
I
lady.
guess I don't think I don't think many people would like to be told they look exactly like Amy Poehler. She's kind of, you know, what you see on Saturday Night Live, right? Like, would you like to be compared to that character that she portrays,
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, okay. Well, okay. But I mean, like her like in
or
real life.
Parks and Recreation?
Yeah, but in real life she looks okay. I mean, people okay. All right. Well, I'm sorry that she felt upset that you compared her.
Right, exactly, exactly.
The podcast was good. Like I said, though, I was listening to it late, so I kind of fell asleep. So there was that part. But I would try to listen to it again. Okay, so those were two that were top 10 that I listened to that I've never listened to before. And then I listened to
Wow,
oh
you've been going at it.
I have. So of course I listened to my Reasonably Shady with Giselle and Robin from Housewives. Love them. And I'm gonna come back to that later. But I also there was another one that I was there's this new show. It's called The Middle, and it's supposed to be a show that talks about all of the things that are happening in the news, but from a perspective of being in the middle. So
Mhm.
I like the fact that they try to do that. I don't know if I feel like it's 100% the middle, but I do feel like it's like a lot less fiery on each side than when I listen to either the left or the right or the left, etc. So,
Mhm.
may want to check that out. And then, so
So would you
I
would you
want
go
to talk
back
about
to it?
this though, huh?
Would you go back to it?
Yeah, yeah, I would listen to it again. I'll listen to it.
Okay.
I'll listen to it again. But this is what I really want to talk about. Okay, so you were bringing up black women. So
Oh, here we go.
I was listening to Reasonably Shady, and they brought up. So I don't know if anybody listened to the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne and DJ Envy and Jess Hilarious and then Lauren LaRosa. So Lauren LaRosa used to work at TMZ and she was an entertainment reporter. I don't know if she got fired or she left or whatever. I don't know. But I like her. I think she's really good. She's sharp. She's on top of it. You can tell she really takes her job seriously. She is also too like one of the producers, like the news producers, so she works behind the scenes as well. But she's good. And Jess Hilarious, who is a comedian, she had a baby and then she went on maternity leave. And so she was supposed to come back and be like the third person because there was a third person on the Breakfast Club and they were waiting for a long period of time to fill in. And Jess
Mhm.
signed the contract. But then she had a baby. She went off, had the baby, and then she came back. But she picked Lauren to fill in for her. So here's what happened. So while she was on maternity leave, Lauren was really good. Like Lauren was really good. And people
Mhm.
really like Lauren. And so then there were people who were saying, I really like Lauren. Does Jess need to come back? Blah, blah, blah. Like all the stuff in the comments, right? It was getting like real juicy and tea stuff. And you didn't really know it was going to go down. But Jess came back. And then you had Jess came back. But then Lauren was still on there. Because some people were thinking, like myself, okay, Jess has come back. Lauren's going to go back in the background or she'll just have like a small segment. But she was still on there. So it was like four of them on there. Now, the dynamic was still good. But there were probably people like myself who listened to it pretty frequently thinking, this is interesting. Or is Lauren going to be on there? Fourth thing, blah, blah, blah. Right. Okay. But no one really knew. So you just roll with it. So I was like, I'm just going to roll with it. I don't know what's going on, what they're having meetings about. Right. So then fast forward, all of a sudden, some person, I don't know, online that Jess was having like online beef with was talking about how um Lauren was better and Jess shouldn't go and something about so the Jess has a segment called Jess with the Mess where she talks about like Diddy and all the gossip of all the hip hop world, right? Or whatever. And then he was calling her Jess for less or something like that. And so
Mhm.
then she got on Instagram, IG and did a live and started dragging her coworkers.
Oh.
Like talking about how like I feel like I'm not supported. Yeah, I did have a problem when I came back with Lauren being on there because no one really said anything to me. But then I realized that she didn't really know anything either. And I'm not trying to say that I'm jealous of her because I'm not. I think she's great. I think she's great at what she does. But I don't feel like how my return was handled professionally and this is just not how you do things. And then she even said, so now the person, so there was another woman who was on the Breakfast Club who left, and there was always rumblings as to why she left. But
Mhm.
then Jess says, "Oh yeah, um, Angela Yee, maybe she wasn't lying." So if I'm Angela Yee, I'm like, why are you bringing my name up in this? Right?
Mhm.
Anyway, okay, so there was that. Here's the thing: I didn't know that Jess had went on IG because I just listened to Breakfast Club.
Mhm.
But then when you listen to the Breakfast Club, they started fighting on the show.
Oh,
That's why I'm
nice.
talking about it. So
I mean,
she
that's
got
terrible.
on the show. Yes, she got on the show and she was talking about how Charlemagne, I don't feel like you support me, and then Envy, we had conversations, but I don't feel like you support me, and you guys should have like handled this better, and it wasn't handled professionally. Like she was having a serious, intense work conversation on air. Then Lauren was on there, and then Lauren and her started like trying to figure it out. And then Charlemagne was like, "Why are you looking in the comments? I don't really like to see two black women going at each other like this. This is what people expect."
Yeah.
And I agree. I agreed with everything that they were saying. And here's the other thing that's so funny. So when I do listen to Brilliant Idiots, the other show that Charlemagne and Andrew, they talk about how people type podcasts, who talk about podcasts and are always dragging people. So I'm going to say first and foremost, I love the Breakfast Club. When we talk about our podcast, we have pretty positive reviews, I think, for the most part. We some things we talk about we don't like you didn't like that Jeff, somebody you don't like. I can't remember the guy's name who lives in Detroit.
Bridges.
Yes, Jeff Bridges. You don't like Jeff Bridges. But for the most part, even with you not liking him, it's not like you're just doing it just to do it. Like that's your
No,
opinion,
no, Jeff
right?
Daniels. Jeff
Oh, Jeff
Daniels.
Daniels. Okay, Jeff Daniels. I was like, you don't like Jeff Bridges. Okay, so Jeff Daniels. So but my point is that we're not dragging this here. This has really been a part of like gossip news. And we talk about celebrity news. It's been like on all of the things. And so now there's even some people who are saying, well, Jess had this conversation that should have been a conversation behind closed doors, and like executives are watching, probably like, okay, we're going to let this calm down, but maybe she's not going to have her job anymore. But
Mm.
I was just so shocked that they were literally going at it with each other. Jess started to cry on the show. DJ Envy got all angry. He never gets upset. He's always like the calm one. He started cussing. He was like, F them. Fuck what people say in the comments. You can't listen to that. We know you're talented. We support you. He got up. He was like, I'm going to get some sparkling water. Got up, left. I mean, it was like a soap opera. I was
Nice.
just like,
I gotta watch this.
wow,
I need to
this
watch
is
this episode.
crazy. Yes, you do need to see it. I will send you the clips afterwards. Okay, so they were talking about that on Reasonably Shady, which is why I bring this up during podcast conversation. And also, too, The Breakfast Club is a podcast that you can see on YouTube and listen to on podcast. So that was a lot. That was a lot. Okay. I just had to get that out.
Robbie, can you come a little closer to your mic?
Why? You couldn't hear me?
This is better. This is better.
Oh,
Thank
you
you.
couldn't hear me that whole time when I was talking just now?
No, I could hear you absolutely fine. It's just you seemed a little distant. That's all.
Oh, okay. Yes, I'm much closer now.
That's better. I feel more intimate with you.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay. But yes, that was just a lot. It was a lot. I can't believe they were having that
So
conversation
you recommend
live.
you recommend it clearly.
I mean, if you want to see a bunch of mess and people going at each other and having a behind the scenes work conversation on air live and, the potential of black women tearing each other down, then yes, watch it.
All
But I will
right.
say at the end, they came back full circle, Jess and Lauren, which I appreciated, and they
Mhm.
came to an understanding, but it took a while to get there. But it was a lot, and they all agreed like it was a conversation that probably shouldn't have been happening on air, but it happened on air. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah,
So you
I
don't think it was staged at all? You don't think
no,
they were told get
no,
on there and air your
no.
grievances? No.
I think the only reason why they did it is because she did the IG live, which I feel like she
Okay.
shouldn't have done, right? And I feel like they felt like if she had done because she did that IG live, even though they were probably all pissed, it would have been hypocritical because they're very clear about being upfront and direct on their show. It would have been hypocritical for them to just come on the show and pretend like she never did that.
Mhm.
So that's why I think that they did it. I don't know. I'm making an assumption. I have no idea. But I think that that's why they did it, even though it was definitely a conversation that should have been had behind the scenes. And we all saw it. Also, too, I will say this sometimes, you know, when you pull your pants down or something happens, you need
Why
to
would I
go
pull
on
my
TV.
pants down?
I'm just saying this as a euphemism. You pull your pants down in public, you need to go on TV and explain why. Like you need to go out there and explain why this happened, right? Like sometimes just dealing with it directly
Yeah,
and not running from it is better in the moment, getting it all out there. They know people are going to talk about it. They know it's going to be people are going to watch it. They know people it's going to be a conversation that people are going to have probably for about a week and then it dies down.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
So,
It's probably better to handle it that way.
yes, I mean,
Yeah.
it's particularly given what they talk about and how they talk about things. So, I can see why they did that, but it is definitely a conversation that you would have expected behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
will
let
say
me ask
that.
you something. You said also too. Is that proper use of grammar? I
No, it
don't
was
think it.
not.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that we are.
I was doubling down and being redundant.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I
Okay.
thought.
All right.
That's
So,
what I thought.
yes. Okay. Thanks
Don't
for
let it
calling
happen,
it out.
Rob.
Thanks for calling it out. I appreciate that. Always good to know you have
But
my
I
back.
think it adds a little emphasis on what you're about to say. So I get your point. I get why you do it. I think sometimes it's better to use incorrect grammar to emphasize a point you're trying to make.
Okay, well, I don't. I just think that I was just in the moment and I used incorrect grammar, and sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't. And I did say that I was tired. I am. And so you might get more incorrect grammar than you're used to on this episode. But I appreciate you having my back and calling it out for everyone to
Sure.
know.
I try my
Thank
best
you. Yeah.
to get your back.
Yeah, yeah. Always good to know that. And you wonder why your feelings get hurt when I say certain things.
Oh, Robbie. Hey, I I sorry, go ahead. You were saying?
I wasn't. I was going to go on to the next subject.
Oh, okay, let's do it. I I found I came across an interesting AI topic. Are you familiar with some schools now starting to use artificial intelligence to teach children?
Yes, I have heard of this, but I don't know what it really looks like. So talk to us about
Yeah,
it.
I mean, this goes out to all the hot moms out there. I hope there are some hot moms listening to our podcast. Can we do an episode kind of devoted to hot moms and invite some hot mom guests on? That'd be.
MILF, you want to do a MILF episode?
I mean, it sounds so crass when you say it that way. I
That's
prefer
what
to
they,
call
I
it.
mean, well, that's what you're talking about.
Yes, the MILF. Yes.
I mean, why not? Why are we beating around the bush?
That's right. I agree. I like your attitude.
Okay.
Uh, so, anyways, before you kind of sidetrack this conversation, I was talking
Whoa,
about
whoa, whoa. Okay, we're not gaslighting. You brought up the hot
what
moms thing, and now
I
you're
was
going to
trying
say
to
that it
talk
was
about
sidetracked.
artificial intelligence.
No, no, no. Let's be clear. You said you wanted to do an episode on hot moms, and you said you weren't listening to hot moms, and you tried to sidetrack it. Then you tried to come up to me because I broached it, and then say before I got sidetracked, as if to imply I was
Robbie.
sidetracked in the conversation. That's gaslighting. We're not doing that.
So complicated. I don't know why. I'm a
Yes,
simple guy trying to have a simple conversation.
yes, you know you gaslighted. Keep going.
Okay, so um, I was reading about how some schools across the country. One example is the Alpha School in Texas. Another one is called Unbound in Arizona. And what they're doing is they're using an interesting teaching model. Now, there are controversies, but what they're doing is that they have an AI tutor teach the children for 2 to 3 hours a day. They use an AI tutor for 2 to 3 hours a day for a, and I say this in quotes, completely personalized learning experience. And then the rest of the hours are spent on developing life skills and such as public speaking, financial literacy, teamwork, and working on passion projects. And that's where the teachers come in because they provide motivational and emotional support, and they use the feedback the data provided by AI to guide the children. Um, and for the school in Texas, actually, the Alpha School, apparently what they're saying now, I don't know how much truth there is. People like to manipulate the truth in this day and age and think it's okay for public consumption, but what they're saying is that their students' test scores are now in the top 2% in the country due to artificial intelligence tutor. Um, so there are some there are some states that are rejecting this method of schooling. For example, it was rejected in the state of Pennsylvania due to their finding that the AI program has deficiency in all five criteria that are needed to get approval. So, I'll give you my opinion on what I think about this. Oh, sorry, to give you a little more, info on how uh, AI tutoring is used. Basically, they're providing personalized learning. So, adaptive learning, where the AI tutors can adapt to each student's learning style and pace, and it offers tailored content and instruction. Um, and identifying strengths and weaknesses, so the AI can analyze student performance data to pinpoint areas where the student excels and where they struggle, and that allows for targeted interventions. Um, it also provides predictive analytics, so the AI can predict student outcomes and identify at risk students early on, and that enables educators to provide timely support. Um, so it also provides immediate feedback and support. Okay, so you get instant feedback. Um, it can identify learning gaps by providing additional practice and explanations, personalized tutoring, and then it also provides data insights for the teachers, again, as I mentioned earlier, to enable the teachers to more effectively work with the students. So, my thought is, I think it's actually a good teaching model because I went to public schools. Now, the private school experience, I don't know if you went to private schools in grade school, but the public school experience that I had was that the students that were more socially outgoing, more boisterous, more troublemaking even, they received more attention from the teachers. And I felt that that took away from my personal learning experience. And I feel like this AI tutor model, it kind of evens the playing field, and the students get the right attention that they deserve.
So, oh God, I don't even know what to say
Okay.
because I think that the idea of like having an AI tutor, I think is good. I don't know what's happening and why there's noise. Do you hear that noise?
I do. I hear a little
Static?
nothing. Yeah.
I don't know why there's static, but there's going to be static. So I don't know why. I don't necessarily disagree with the AI tutor per se. I think that's good, but I don't know if I believe that the AI tutor should be the only thing that's even teaching subjects to
Hmm.
children. And I also too don't even understand how that works. So you go to the AI tutor teaches you one on one, and then you break out
You're
and
basically on your
group.
laptop, and it's creating a personalized experience for you. It's
See these
finding,
words, personalized experience, all of that stuff.
yeah.
The way that we interact, and the reason why a lot of stuff that I feel, and this is what I think, and I
But
went to Catholic
keep in
school,
mind that that's for 2 to 3 hours a day. The rest of the time, you're working on other projects, and you've got teachers that are with you.
but you're not working together until you do the teamwork exercise.
I believe so. I believe that's how it works.
Okay, well, see, this is the thing. Like, part of school is being in a class and somebody's rambunctious and goes crazy and you witness it and you see how it all goes down.
Okay.
Right? Like, I mean,
You
serious.
were one of them, weren't you? You were
No,
one of
I
them.
did not go crazy in school. I was a witness and I was like, I would chat it up and be like, look at such and such. Ooh, da, da,
Yeah,
da, blah, blah,
I can
blah.
see you being a chatter in school.
I was definitely a chatter in school, which is why I'm on a podcast. But I'm not gonna run from that. But my point is that I think that it can be an additive and augment things, but I'm not one of these people who feels like everything needs to be replaced by AI, particularly not at this time. We still don't have enough data sets. There's still things that are not
Oh
there.
yeah,
And there's
absolutely.
all these like books that are being banned now. People don't want to listen to them. Certain people do want to learn things, certain people don't want to learn
Mhm.
things. We know that the AI, depending on what it is, can hallucinate.
Mhm.
Some of it's agentic, some of it's not. I just
But
and
what do
then
you
too,
think
like for
about? What do you think?
example, do you
What do
want me
you?
to finish? Did you want me to
Oh,
finish?
I'm sorry, madam.
Okay. All right. So the thing that I wanted to say was, like they're saying in Pennsylvania, it doesn't pass the criteria. Again,
Mm.
they say that these test scores are the highest in the region, but what is the grades of these? Like, what is the grade level of these kids?
Yeah,
How long have
yeah,
they been doing this? AI's only been out for a certain period of time. So it can't really, like, what's the benchmark, right? Like, what's
yeah.
the baseline of the data that they're using to compare versus other data? Do I think that public education needs a lot of help? Absolutely. Do I think that it
Mhm.
should be totally gutted and replaced by AI?
No,
Absolutely not.
no, absolutely not. You have
Absolutely not. I
it's
feel
a
like
part
it's
of if you cut out the human experience that you need that human experience for learning. I completely agree with you.
I just think there needs to be a little bit more thought into it. I hear what you're saying, but
But what do
don't
you
take this
think
the wrong
about?
way. I think that a lot of this has to do with the fact that you felt like you didn't get personal attention in school, and then you feel like this is gonna give
No,
someone like
I,
you personal attention, so that's why you like it. So it comes back
I,
to being all about
but,
you.
but that's exactly my point. Is that there are students that feel there are kids that are in public schools that may feel that they're not getting the right attention because attention goes towards ill-behaving children or kids that are loud, and
Did
so
you play
I
sports in school?
did I what?
Play sports.
Minimally.
Okay. All right. So this is where we're going to have a hardcore disagreement because I feel like I played sports in school. Played sports through high school and then also too I did other things that would be similar to sports, but it was not a sport, right? Like the whole
Can I
dance,
just finish my
ballet,
thought
blah blah blah.
first? That was kind of
You
thank you,
can,
ma'am.
but I was answering your point. So I just want to get your
Okay,
point
go ahead.
across
Go
because
ahead.
you said that there are some kids who don't feel I agree with that, and I think that that is one reason why you are so good at certain things. I think that in life, you are going to have experiences where you're not going to be the center of attention, and I think
Hate
that
that.
when you do play sports, you learn that early.
Mhm,
What the greatest thing that I learned from sports is how to lose and how to
mhm,
fail and keep going and knowing that I'm not always gonna be the winner. Even
mhm,
though even if you play on a high team, you don't win everything, and even if you have a season where you go 15-0, the next season might not be the same. So there's like this mentality where you start to realize that maybe it's not all about you. And I feel personally there's too much of that. It needs to be all about me. That's pervasive. So maybe that's why I have the
But
perception about this. I do. Okay, I'm done.
well, I don't think it's the. So what I mean is, I think all children should get the same personalized learning experience, not a few kids getting a nice personalized, very attention filled learning experience while others don't. And I thought that, you know, so the other thing is, if you're, I think based on that a lot of students don't get the attention they deserve. You've got an AI tutor here that's finding out what are your strengths. They're going through a teaching path. They're going through a customized teaching path that is then determining what are the strengths of the student, what are their weaknesses, and it helps guide along the whole learning process. How do you help someone learn a certain topic um, with certain instructions based on their weaknesses, which I think a lot of students don't get. Now, granted, I was a smart kid when I was in school, so even though I did not get the attention that I thought I deserved, I was still doing pretty well until I got through high school. That's where it started going downhill. I started focusing on other things.
I guess my point is, who's creating these paths and these learning structures? And when they're talking about weaknesses, who's defining what the strengths are and what the weaknesses are? Who are these kids? Where are they coming from? What's their background? Like, there's so many things that come into play on how somebody learns. And I don't mean background like ethnicity. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, what is their home life like? Like, do
Well,
they have an environment where it is about learning? Because there are certain home lives where people are all about learning, and there's others where it's like, I don't really give a damn. Right. And then there's others where there's kind of a mix. So I'm just trying to understand. I feel like I don't have enough information to have a really solid conversation about this. That's really what it comes.
lucky for you, I used to be a long-term substitute teacher in a crack neighborhood in Detroit many, many, many years ago. And I can tell you, these kids did not have a good environment at home. It was terrible. Basically, their parents used school as a babysitting service and really didn't care about their kids. And these kids definitely, and so from the another perspective, I had about 35 students sitting in my class. This is a public school again. I had about 35 students sitting in my class. And in each class, there were about two kids that were so well behaved, so such conscientious students, hardworking, wanted to learn. But I couldn't give them the attention they deserved because of the other kids that were acting out and breaking into fights. So that's another angle. So not just because I was giving attention to kids um, that were more outgoing, because I knew that experience from growing up is that kids that were more outgoing got attention. So I made it a conscious effort when I was teaching at the school not to do that, not to give kids that were more outgoing the extra attention. I wanted to give the quieter kids that were well behaved and working hard. I wanted to give them the attention, but I wasn't able to because I had a bunch of kids running around the place acting like maniacs. But they came from all sorts of terrible, terrible backgrounds where they were not cared for. And I think that an AI tutor would be a good experience for them.
Okay. I just feel like there's so much to unpack there. And we don't have enough time
Let's
to.
unpack it, Robbie. Let's unpack that
No, we
suitcase.
don't. We don't have enough time. I think that we have
Let's
to.
let's
We
let's
don't have enough
unfold our
time.
clothes. Let's get wild.
We don't have enough time. I'm just going to ask, how long were you a substitute teacher?
About a year and a half.
Okay. So then, like, that's nothing. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm not trying to
Wow.
be. I mean, like,
Wow.
there's too much to impact there. A year and a half, that's not that. And then that's such an extreme example. I was a substitute teacher for a
Let
year
me
and a
tell you
half with
something.
a
Let me
bunch of
tell you something.
crack
Let me
babies, so I
let me
know that
tell you.
crack
Let me
babies
tell you
will
something.
benefit from AI
Let
teaching.
me
How
let me
does that really
Let me
sound?
tell you something. Let me tell because it provides a personalized experience in an environment that's not conducive to learning.
Yes,
But
and
let me tell you
AI
something.
understands what it's like to grow up in a crack den?
No, it provides the customized, more
What
personalization when
exactly?
you're in an environment where kids will not let a teacher focus on children that want to learn. You know. Now, and also it helps the kids that don't want to learn because they don't have to listen to a teacher to change. They can work on their computer. Now, these days kids they prefer to be on their computers, right?
And that's a
But
problem.
it is when you're playing video games, yes.
Yeah.
But let me tell you this. So I was there and I would replace teachers that were gone for long term or just disappeared because they couldn't keep any teachers. I was in a science class. I was teaching a, chemistry class where they had gone through four teachers and none of them would stay because the kids were so terrible. And then I was in a special education class. Now, keep in mind, I did not have a teaching degree, and
Yes.
at that point, I had an undergrad degree only. And they offered me a full time teaching position in their special education class.
Yeah.
And I said, I am not nearly qualified to be your full time teacher for this class. You need someone more experienced. And they said, listen, we cannot get any teacher to stay here. We need all the help we can get. And you've been doing a good job with these kids. The most important thing in this school is getting these kids to just learn how to act like humans, learn how to act civilly. Teaching them books
Uh,
is
okay.
secondary.
I don't. I really can't have this conversation about how the kids are animals and you were able to tame
Let's
the beast.
let's have
I can't have
ah,
this conversation right now. I really can't.
let's
And
have
and
a
I
conversation.
just
Let's
feel
have it.
like
Let's
no, I
have it.
don't want to.
Come on, Robbie.
Nope.
Unleash on me. Come on.
Nothing to say.
Come on, Robbie. Robbie.
Just gonna let you finish your story.
All
And
right.
go on to the next
So,
topic.
anyways, my overall point is I
Uh-huh.
think AI would be a good tool for schools. Now, at what level, how much AI, that's to be debated.
I agree AI would be a good tool. I think people are using it now in a variety of different levels in school. I think it needs to be vetted and really figured out as to how much augmentation is going to be a part of learning. But I think that utilizing AI in learning is definitely a plus and things that people are going to have to do because they're going to have to learn AI and use it in their job. So I'm not against it. I don't think it's going to be like the savior.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of environmental factors that need to be worked on as well. It's not just AI. It's not the savior itself. Humanity, I mean, like you said, humans are animals. We've got to
Oh,
change
you
ourselves
say
before
that.
we.
You say that. Let's be clear about who is the animalistic human.
Okay, fine. We'll get there soon. You're gonna see it my way sooner or later. I mean, look what's happening in the world. It's chaos, Robbie. Admit it. Humans are animals.
Everyone's different. So, what's the last topic we're going to talk about?
That was the last topic.
Oh,
Oh,
that was it?
no.
Oh, okay. So,
No,
we're going to
no,
end
no.
the show?
I'm sorry. No. Oh, well, I guess we can talk. I mean, we're at 42, so I guess we can call it a day.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Okay. Wow, I got off.
We'll have to continue our discussions in the next round.
I don't even know what we were going to talk about. I
I
think
do.
that
Yeah,
you're just,
I'll,
I just think that you're upset that I did not want to talk about your story
yeah,
about
I wanted to
teaching
unpack it with
crack
you. But
babies. Oh my God.
that's
How
right.
more stereotypical can you be for a year? Oh my God. This
Come
is
on, Robbie, unpack on me. Come on,
I'm not going to because it's just, I mean,
Robbie.
just the
I know you
whole,
want to. You're
the
itching.
basis though. Here's the thing though. This is what's so funny, I think, about you. I
Tell
don't
me.
have to unpack because the whole premise speaks for itself.
So share with me what you want to say. Come on, Robbie.
I want
That's why
to talk
we're
about
here.
how
We're
I
here to
went
talk.
to this holy celebration this weekend and it was super fun.
Let's talk about it for 5 minutes.
Okay. Can you tell can you tell the audience what holy is?
Holi is it's a celebration of, well, it's a Hindu religious celebration. And basically the celebration part entails playing with colors. I don't know if our audience has seen the color run, which has become pretty popular in the San Francisco Bay Area and I think some other parts of the country, but that is that stems from holy celebrations where in India on this special day, everyone goes out and plays colors with each other. Sometimes it's powder colored, hot fluorescent colors, or they're watercolors. So you got these little little handheld things where you're pumping colored water at each other, and everyone's wearing white, and you're just getting everyone completely colored. It's a really fun celebration.
So I went to my first holy celebration. I've never been. I've seen it. I've seen other people participate, but I've never participated in one. And so my friend invited me to her home, and it was definitely more tame. And she said that too. She's like, it's going to be tame. And but she had these colors. They were powder, and they were organic. And she said they were flower colors, and they were made, I guess, of flower petals. And we when we did holy, you would like put holy, like you would put the powder on someone's face and say happy holy, or you would throw it at them and say happy holy. And then everybody just, and it's interesting how doing that and bringing that childlike spirit back
Hmm.
when you are an adult and you're doing it in a
Yeah,
celebratory way, like really makes you feel good and you create like connections and bonding. And it was really fun. And I
yeah.
had colors in my hair and on my face and all over my clothes. I made sure that I wore something appropriate. I didn't know until I got there that I should have worn white. Um, but that's
You
okay.
didn't wear a nice outfit, did you?
No, 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 no. I got like a throwaway dress to
Were you wearing Indian clothes?
I was not wearing Indian clothes. Should I have been? Should I
Oh,
have come there like with a white sari on?
not a sari, a salwar kameez. It's like a long, very long shirt that goes down past your knees, and
Yes.
it's white pants like that.
Oh, okay.
Um,
What did you call the shirt?
that's fine.
You called it a what?
It's called salwar kameez.
So Walker me.
Yeah,
So
salwar kameez.
Salwar kameez.
Yeah,
Okay, I don't
and
know. I did not wear that.
I do want to emphasize that
What?
it's a lovely celebration. One, because of the happiness and the childlike emotions that come out and all that, but also because it transcends. I told you, I mentioned earlier that it's a Hindu religious celebration, right? But
Mhm,
it transcends religion. So it's all Indians that celebrate it. It's Hindus, Muslims, Christians. They all celebrate it together. So
mhm.
it's very nice. So really, from the religious origin, it's about the triumph of good over evil with some details. I could go into details about what the good over evil, triumph of good over evil is, but we'll just leave it at that high level. But it transcends all of that, and everyone just enjoys the day together, and it's a nice celebration. So I'm glad you enjoyed and got to experience it.
I did. I wanna do it again. I wanna go to a big one and really get, like, just tons of color just all over me.
Yeah,
Uh,
these days people, different organizations, different Indian organizations,
mhm.
they organize holy celebrations in parks where it's just, it's a good time. It's all open. You're throwing crazy colors at each other, running around the park, so it's fun.
Yes, yes. Anyway, it was fun. I'm glad I went.
And
I
you
bonded
were
with
the
my
only non-Indian there?
well, I've been to her house before where I was, except for, like, a friend of mine who came with me, and then, there was another woman this time who was partnering her because she also too has a business, who was partnering with her. She was non-Indian, but it was interesting because the other Indian women who were there, they remember me from the first party, so they
Oh, fun.
remember me. So and then, then I was at this one, so I thought that was good too. I mean, it was good. It was good, and everybody was nice, and again, like, they've seen me more than once, um, and yeah, I liked it. I had fun. I think I come back. I would do it again, but, done my friend, I'm not gonna say her name, I almost did, but we're, like, really close, the woman who invited me. We've known each
Hmm.
other for years, so we just hit it off. And yeah, she's Indian. And so she was like, come over. She used to be like, come over to my house. It's so fun, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, I don't know. Da, da, da. And then I finally did. So, and then I went over for this holy celebration. Anyway, it was super fun. I had a great time. I recommend it to anyone, particularly like if you're feeling kind of down or if you're feeling like, it's just fun. It changes your whole spirit and vibe. And I did read about the whole good versus evil thing. You have to tell me about the details of that because I don't know the details, but that also too brings a good spirit into the whole energy of the place when you're celebrating it as well. So yeah, it was fun.
Nice, nice. I think you know what? I think it'd be nice, like as you did, if people tried to spend more time uh, enjoying the celebrations with others that are of other religions, other nationalities. I think it brings us together, gets lets us know each other a lot more intimately.
Agreed. And that's always been my thing. And I think we talked about that too when we had another guest on here who was talking about like the whole DEI thing. I don't like this everything that's happening and all of these barriers and things that people are trying to put up against people and say,
Hmm.
we don't want to talk about what your culture is, or we're going to like cancel your
Hmm.
culture and all this other stuff. And
Hmm.
I think there are some extreme things, like, everyone knows I'm against men playing in women's sports, like hardcore against that. And I've said that
Hmm.
multiple times. But when it comes to like backgrounds and cultures, unless you're just like flat out someone who does not like someone of a different background just because,
Hmm.
a lot of it I just think is people, just like you said, you just need to just talk to someone. Just
And
have a
isn't
conversation. Just get to know somebody that's different from you, when you probably you'll find they're a lot more similar to you than you think, because
hmm.
many of us, particularly in America, we have a lot more similarities than we do differences, independent of how we look. And
Yeah.
fundamentally, like, we can speak on other things, et cetera, et cetera. And I know that, and I'm not disagreeing with any of the things that exist that, you know, affect other people. But fundamentally, we can agree on many more things. If we just have conversations and just like get through that. And I don't mean have a conversation and then randomly go back to your whole little group and then never interact. I mean, invite people into your space. She invited me into her space, right?
Hmm.
And that's what I mean. You don't get to know someone until you invite them into your home
Yes.
and they
Yes.
invite you into their home. Period.
Yes.
End, full stop.
Agreed.
Maybe that's a good way to end.
That is a nice way to end. I agree.
All right, Steven. Well, I guess we're
Lovely.
going to end this episode. I'm sure we'll have something interesting to talk about next week. Steven, do you want to
As
say
always. As
bye to
always.
the guest?
Robbie's gonna look down on me, and no, I'm just teasing, kind of.
I know, kind of, but I'm
Yeah.
not looking down on you.
And we did have another topic you wanted to talk about, but I guess we'll hit it next time.
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
And we can also to talk about hot moms if you really want to do that.
Oh, anytime, Robbie. Any time.
All right, everyone. This is the end of our episode. Say bye to the people, Steven.
My friends, my hot moms out there, it is I, Stephen Kennedy, board certified atheist, at your service.
All right,
Thank you for
everyone.
playing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Finish.
You
What were
cut
you
into
saying?
me. No, no, it's okay. It's over.
Sorry.
You ruined the moment. It's over. Like I was saying, thank you everyone for joining us once again.